Well, I grew up in Austin, the hill country, which is inarguably LBJ country, so he was always on my radar. And I have this funny little family connection to LBJ. My father, who was a pioneer in public television and radio, was brought to Texas to create the Austin-San Antonio television radio station. And job number one was to speak to Senator Johnson and get his permission to do so, because it would have been a direct competitor with the LBJ media empire. So I'm pleased to say he not only gave his approval, but also would sign into law the bill that created the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and made public television and radio in this country what it is. So from a very early age, LBJ was a name in my household, and he was thought of as a friend of the court. I think for the citizens of Dallas to see this play, many of them will have experienced these events themselves, and they will, as a consequence, have very personal and oftentimes quite emotional memories of these events and these individuals. And yet there will also be another significant part of the audience, a younger part, for whom this history and these events and these peoples will be revelatory, and they will be shocked and amazed at what the United States and what Dallas was like a little more than 50 years ago. The issues that we are fighting over in this current campaign season so bitterly were all issues that began in 1964. So what are we talking, what are we arguing about now? Obamacare. Well, in 1964 it was Medicare. And the arguments made against it were just as fierce then as they are now. In fact, the language is shockingly similar. Immigration. Well, LBJ passed the first comprehensive immigration reform bill as part of the Great Society. He opened up our immigration policies from what was narrowly a Western Europe to an international, and we've been fighting about it ever since. And of course, primarily race. Even though we like to tell ourselves we are a post-racial society, of course nothing could be farther from the truth. Indeed, we are still arguing and fighting bitterly over the achievement of Dr. King's dream of a truly integrated, diverse society. Despite the dysfunction that we are witness to at the national level, I think people really do want to have a real conversation about these issues. And that's one of the things that theater can do for a community, is provide an opportunity and a forum where it becomes possible to really engage with these levels at an emotional, visceral level, and then to have an informed conversation about it. That's one of the gifts of theater.